Hey. That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
He did what?
Jackpot, baby!
Ice up, son. Ice up.
That is blasphemous.
You can put it on the board. Yes.
Between the Rams and Bengals in SoFi. And now the Rams won 23-20. We all know that. And what you may not know is that the LA Rams have become the second straight hosting team to go to the Super Bowl and win it. And of course, last year the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl was indeed held at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where the Buccaneers play. So before we get into the game itself, the whole idea of how the LA Rams go and win, the Super Bowl, being the second straight hosting team to go and win and all that good stuff, that has a lot of people talking about how the NFL should have some kind of plan in place in case this sort of thing happens. And I'm not like totally for that, because I think if you're a team, right, whether you're hosting the Super Bowl or not, if you make it to the Super Bowl, like, you've earned it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not coming out beginning of the year and saying, hey guys, we're hosting the Super Bowl this year, so you know what that means, we got to go and try to get there, right? Every team, regardless of whether you're hosting the Super Bowl or not, is obviously trying to get there. So, like, I don't understand how people are like, well, it's a disadvantage. I mean, it might be a slight disadvantage, but it's not like they're giving the season ticket holders first. It's not like it's a home game, It's I don't know. I think people don't quite understand what's going on. But anyway, I'm not for the whole they should have a backup plan. And it's more from more than about it's about more, than the whole like, hey, you've earned it. Because think of it this way. Let's say you're saying at the beginning of the year, hey, the Super Bowl is in LA, right? And then the Rams go and make it all the way, right? And then the last minute, NFC Championship weekend, you're saying, well, if the Rams win, the Super Bowl is no longer in LA. A, think about how stupid that sounds. And B, think about this. Think about all those people that purchase, like, tickets, right? And I don't just mean Super Bowl tickets. Because that is one problem. Because, let's say you move the Super Bowl from SoFi to, I don't know, Dallas, right? The capacity is not going to be the same. There's not going to be, one stadium is going to have more seats than the other. And for those that, if let's say if it is a significant change, some people have already bought a ticket, or you're going to get a call saying, hey, sorry, we moved the Super Bowl because the LA Rams got there, and now we don't have enough seats for you to go, even though you already bought a Super Bowl ticket, right? Think about how unprofessional of a scenario that would be. But other tickets as well, like flight tickets, right? Think about how many people at the beginning of the year, everybody knows the Super Bowl is in LA, right? And let's just say regardless, like, you've always wanted to go to the Super Bowl, right? So regardless, you're saying, hey, we're going this year. I don't care who's in it. I don't care what team goes. We're going. Book the flight to LA. And then out of nowhere, it's, hey, oh, by the way, since the Rams made it to the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl this year is going to be in, I don't know. How about Arizona, right? Or better yet, I don't know. Let's move the Super Bowl to Atlanta. Now all of a sudden, your flight that you booked for LA, you got a problem. You got to go and change that, and who knows if you'll get a refund, all that stuff. And then hotels as well. I mean, so you understand the point. It just wouldn't work, and I think it would cause a lot more problems than it would solve. So, like, the whole thing, move the Super Bowl, have a contingency plan in place. It sounds great on paper, but it would never actually work. And I think, again, it all goes back to, not only would it be problems for, tickets and money, and, like, the NFL would probably lose a lot from that, because people are going to say, okay, no, I'm not going to go then, right? It would just be a big cluster, I think. And I think, again, I really do believe in the fact that if a team makes it to the Super Bowl, they've earned it, right? Whether they're hosting or not, you won all those games to get to the Super Bowl. You've earned it. And okay, maybe there's more motivation for teams saying, hey, we're the team hosting the Super Bowl this year. Let's go and play a home Super Bowl, right? I think if you're a team that has done that is even more reason to, to say, hey, we've really earned it, right? Because nobody really thought, hey, this team's going to go to the Super Bowl this year because they're hosting. Well, hey, we hosted it, and now we made it. We truly earned it. Why should that be taken away from us? I'm not for that. But in other elsewhere, right? Getting back to the game itself, I should say, as I mentioned a little bit before, the Bengals really had the right to win that game. They had every right to win that game. I mean, they led for the majority of the game. They were up by 10 at halftime. Like, things seemed to be going the Bengals' way. And then the second half came, and the Rams came back, which is kind of odd when you think about it, because the LA Rams this year have not really been a second half team, and especially in the playoffs. Just for example, you take a look at how they played against the Cardinals, right? They beat the Cardinals in the first half and then just kind of coasted to the finish. They destroyed the Cardinals in the wild card in the first round. Second round, they played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were cruising to a victory. They were up just astronomically. I think it was 27-3. And then the second half came and the Buccaneers made a comeback. And I know they weren't up 27-3 in the first half. At least I don't think they were. I think it was probably third quarter they were up. But, they almost blew it is the point. And then came the game against the Niners where, it was kind of a back and forth slow game. Nothing really happened. And then, it was, hey, whatever team makes a play is going to be the team that wins the game and goes to the Super Bowl. And while the Rams just made a play late, they did it. So the point is the Rams have not been a team that comes back from a 10-point deficit or comes back from a big deficit in the second half to win the game. At least, and I'm sure they've done that in other games this season. But what I'm saying is, in their run to the playoffs, that was not their bread and butter. That was not what they did to get themselves to the Super Bowl. And yet, out of nowhere, they come out of the halftime locker room and they woke up. Their offense started clicking. Matthew Stafford started making better decisions. The defense started playing better. Aaron Donald made some huge plays as well. Things just kind of started to get clicking a little bit, and the Bengals couldn't respond. And the game was up for grabs all night until the fourth quarter, when on 2nd and 1, the Bengals decided to throw the ball deep, which didn't make any sense, right? I mean, 2nd and 1, I think this was after the Rams had taken the lead 23-20. Bengals, all they needed to do was get down the field and, get into field goal range to tie the game up and go to overtime. But, we all know that the Bengals in that situation are thinking about going down and winning the game right there. So on 2nd and 1, they threw the deep ball. It didn't work out. They come back on 3rd and 1, and I think, okay, 3rd and 1, they can get this one. This is nothing too difficult. They've got one of the better running backs in the league, Joe Mixon. They'll be able to hand that off, get him a yard, right? And then if not, 4th and 1, they could probably do the same thing. So they come out 3rd and 1, and it looks like they're going to run the ball. And, take a few looks here. It's not Joe Mixon in the backfield. It is Samaje Perine. And, I know that this may be one of those things that, you look back on and you say, well, now, in the moment, you're saying, okay, this could work, maybe not. And then you look back on it and say, well, that was a stupid decision. I understand in the moment, going with Samaje Perine may be some kind of decent idea to some, I guess. I don't know. I didn't see it personally, but I do see a world where you say, well, Samaje Perine had a pretty good game against the Chiefs. He's not the worst running back in the world, and on a play where you need 1 yard, he should be able to get the job done. That's a fair argument. I understand that. But Joe Mixon is one of the better running backs in the league, and you have him and you need 1 yard and you don't give that guy the ball. That was like the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl, quite a few years ago against the Patriots, where they had the best running back in the league, Marshawn Lynch at the time, and they threw the ball inside the 5, when all they needed was to run the ball in for a touchdown. So then 4th and 1, all the momentum is going the Rams' way, and then they it may have been an incomplete pass. I don't really know what it was, but point being, Aaron Donald made the play to seal the victory for the LA Rams. So So the Bengals, you could say, yes, they lost it because of their decisions late in the game. But they also lost it because they don't have an offensive line. Like, I'm pretty sure I could have gotten through that offensive line. And I'm one of the skinniest people you'll ever see. I mean, it was the Rams defense. And you might be thinking, oh, well, you're exaggerating. No, I am not. The Rams had 7 sacks in that game, 8 tackles for a loss, and 11 quarterback hits. Joe Burrow, I don't know how he made it out of that game alive. And now they say he played through a sprained MCL. I'm surprised he didn't tear his knee up again. I mean, they have to get Joe Burrow some protection. And I think if they had a good offensive line, there's no doubt in my mind that team would have won the Super Bowl against the Rams. Because this was a Super Bowl where both teams, like I mentioned, the game was up for grabs the entire way. Not to mention the fact that the Bengals were up 10 at halftime. They had all the momentum in the world going into halftime. And the Rams defense just figured things out. They held Jamar Chase, who's been on an absolute tear this season after not being able to catch a ball in the preseason. They held him under 100 yards. Now, don't get that twisted. Little, if any, credit should go to Jalen Ramsey. I am not a big fan of Jalen Ramsey. I don't think he's all that good. I don't see the hype that other people are, all excited about. I'm not seeing it from him. I think he's like a small dog. He's all bark, no bite. He can talk all day long. But, he can talk trash all day long. But when it comes time to put that aside and get on the field and prove it that way, it doesn't go the way he talks it up to go, right? That's just how it is with him. It always has been that way, and it always will be. I think there was other plays that really or other guys on that team that you can contribute the defensive, the very good defensive play from the Rams, right? And it all comes back down to hurrying Joe Burrow, right? Sure, Jamar Chase may have been able to burn Jalen Ramsey all day, but it doesn't matter if Joe Burrow can't get the ball to Jamar Chase. It doesn't matter if Joe Burrow is running for his life every time. And that reminds me of last year's Super Bowl between the Chiefs and Bucks. The Chiefs had, they had the talent to win that game, but Patrick Mahomes is running for his life every single snap. And, that same theme comes over and applies to the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow had no time at all to make decisions and read the defense. And it came back and bit the Bengals in the butt. And as for the MVP of that game, Cooper Kupp wins the MVP. He had, I believe, 8 receptions, 92 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Great game, right? Pretty good game. Almost had 100 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, 8 receptions. That's a pretty good game, right? And I understand that without Cooper Kupp, the Rams may not win that game, and they probably don't win that game. But that is up for debate. The one thing that isn't up for debate, though, is the fact that the LA Rams would have lost that game without Aaron Donald. Because late in the game, Aaron Donald literally takes Samaje Perine, who probably was an inch or 2 away from getting a first down, pulls him back to ensure that it will not be a first down for Cincinnati, and then on the play directly after that, he seals the deal by getting a hit on Joe Burrow. Again, I understand that without Cooper Kupp, the Rams probably don't even get to the point where they probably don't even they're probably not even in the position where Aaron Donald can seal the deal with a game-winning hit on Burrow. I get that. But I think when you look at the most valuable player, right, in that sense, is Aaron Donald. Because again, without Aaron Donald, you don't win that game. And I understand, whoever is in Aaron Donald's place, if you take him out of there, I'm sure he could have gotten to the quarterback in time. But the timing was perfect, right? Aaron Donald literally won the LA Rams that game. Because, again, as I mentioned, they literally pulled Samaje Perine back Like, not many guys do that. And then the timing on the hit on Burrow was perfect, because if Burrow had even a split second more to throw that ball, that he gets the ball to Jamar Chase, no doubt in my mind, for a 50-yard bomb, right? So again, I understand Cooper Kupp had a great game. They're probably not even in the position to win the game on defense without Cooper Kupp, especially after Odell Beckham Jr. goes out due to injury. I get that. I can level with that. But I think in the sense of most valuable player is Aaron Donald. Because again, they do not win that game without Aaron Donald. He quite literally won them the Super Bowl. Because any other player in that spot, Samaje Perine gets the first down. Any other player in that spot, Joe Burrow doesn't get hit and sacked on that play. So, I think the Bengals, as I mentioned, they had every right to win that game, couldn't get it done. And hey, hats off to the LA Rams, and being able to go into the locker room down 10 and get things figured out, right? I mean, not many teams can do that, especially when, one team has all the momentum. It's tough to come out and slow that down and turn things around. The LA Rams did it. All the credit in the world goes to them.